make sure your phone is muted. That way we don't have any background noise. And we'll jump right into it. So, welcome to our 2020 summer flag football season. We are so excited to get back to playing sports again. It's been a long time waiting, and we are very, very eager to get back and seeing the kids playing and have fun and getting back to a little bit of some fun, normal life. So we want to make sure that we keep everyone safe while we're out there. So we're going to go over our safety protocols and everything else today. But again, if you have any questions over anything we go over, feel free to chat them in or mute them or unmute yourself at the very end. Or if not, you can always email me and I can get back to you as soon as I can. Usually it takes about a day or two for me to get back to you right now as we get closer to starting the season. We got a lot more emails coming in, a lot more things to do last minute. But I will make sure to get back to everyone as quickly as I can. All right, so let's jump into it. So before we jump into some of the details for the league, I want to make sure I touched on some of our values and roles. So as a flag football program, as an I-9 Sports League, our focus is on providing a fun, safe, instructional, inclusive, and sportsmanship-based sports program for all of our kids. So as adults, bringing our kids to the leagues and coaching and teaching and refereeing and cheering on, we all have a role to play within this process. So our parents are there to support all of our kids using encouraging and positive words and actions. Coaches, your role is to teach sportsmanship by being fun, supportive, and positive role models. And our staff will be there to promote fair play through a safe, organized, and fun environment. We want the kids to compete. We want the kids to compete at their highest abilities. We want the kids to learn, to get better within the skills. But more important than anything else, we want to make sure that they're having fun throughout the entire process. That way they want to continue to play this season and going forward as many sports as they can for as long as they can. Right now, the stats truth is 70 to 75% of kids are dropping out of sports by the age of 14 and 13, which is crazy. And the number one reason is because it's not fun anymore. They're going to get burnt out. They've been playing for too hard. They've been pushed too hard. They got injuries already. But fun is one of the number one reasons why the kids play, as well as the number one reasons why they stop playing. It's just not fun for them. So we want to make sure that we're always supporting them, encouraging them, make sure they're having a good time while they're out there. So we'll do our part, and we ask that you guys help us out with that as well. We did have a guest speaker, John from Scottish Rite, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make the meeting today. He has some information that he wanted to share with you guys in regards to safety with heat, safety with getting back to sports after a long break for most of our kids, back to activities again, and stretching out, warming up, and make sure that we're safe on that side, as well as some information about the importance of playing multiple sports for our young kids and not getting sports specific. So I'll share some of that information that he passed out to us in the email that goes out on Thursday. But if you have any questions in regards to that, you can feel free to reach out to me and I'll forward that over to John. He's an athletic trainer and works in the sports medicine department at Scottish Rite. So we appreciate their sponsorship as well as the support that they've given us over the last 2 seasons. So 3 seasons really. So let's jump into some of the details in regards to our upcoming flag football program. So we do have a coaches meeting. This is mandatory for all of our coaches as well as our volunteers. So if you are a coach, assistant coach, team parent, team helper, or you want to help out while you're out there, hey, I'm not going to make it every single week, so I don't volunteer. But when I'm there, I'd love to be able to assist. Please be a part of that meeting. That way we can get to know what's going on the coaches side. I want to touch on our rain-out procedures. So if you have not already, please save this number on your phone. This is the phone number that we record our weather hotline. It's a recorded message that you'll get every single Sunday at 7 a.m. So every Sunday at 7 a.m. we'll record a message on this number. So you'll dial in and you'll hear a recorded message from myself or Damari saying all games are on today. We're looking to have a great day, or games have been canceled due to weather conditions or whatever the case might be. So if we do, we update that hotline every single Sunday morning at 7 a.m. And anytime that we have to cancel games, we update the hotline. We email every parent that's we have contact with. So if sometimes I get questions of, hey, how come I didn't get the email that we got canceled? It probably went to the other parent or spouse or something. We don't always have both spouses' contact information. So if you want to make sure you're getting the emails and the newsletters, you can always add as a member, let me know, and I can link your guys' accounts together. So any information that goes to your child goes to both parents. or, you know, step parents or grandparents if you want to include them as well. We update the website, and we call coaches if games are canceled. If we do have to cancel any games, we'll be making up those games on August 23rd or August 30th. So please make sure you have those dates marked down as potential makeup dates during the season. All right, and as far as equipment for the season, for flag football, for all of our other sports, we are recommending that parents bring their own equipment. For a game like football, even if you brought your own ball every single week, football is a sport where you share the ball. There's no way of getting around that as far as not sharing equipment. So if you do want to bring your own ball, then that's fine. We have a peewee size ball for ages 4 to 10 and a junior size ball for ages 11 plus. But for all of our coaches and all of our teams, we provide equipment bags. So when coaches check in, they'll pick up their equipment bag, which will have 2 balls, cones for them to use for practice, and the kids' flags. And these are picked up at the check-in tent for all of our kids. And you want to make sure that you use the I9 Sports flags that we provide. And if you want to buy your own flags for practice or whatever, feel free to do that. But we'll use our flags during the games. And all this equipment is cleaned before and after each and every session. So that way, when you get your equipment, it's been cleaned from the last session if it was used prior. As far as the jersey, we provide a reversible jersey on opening day. So you'll get that on opening day as well as the coach's shirt. So just like you see in the picture here with our gray and white jerseys, this guy has the white with the gray. This guy has the gray with the white. For the summer season, we have a red and black, and the reverse side is a blue and neon green. So those are 2 new jersey colors that you'll see out there. So make sure you pay attention to that. And then as far as opening day, what to expect. So typically on opening day, if you guys have played with us before, we have a big team meeting with all of our parents and players, and our staff runs a big introduction meeting to everybody. At that point, we send you to your teams where you have a meeting with the parents and the players, and then you start your practice and games. We're not going to be doing that this season. We're going to try to do as many things as we can to eliminate groups getting together in huddles or groups kind of standing around with each other. So that's why we're doing this live meeting instead, to go over a little more information than we typically go over at those meetings. So instead, when you guys get to the field, you'll check in at the I9 Sports tent. They'll let you know, hey, I'm here with this sport, this team, and they'll send you to the field. At that point, either your coach or a staff member will greet you at your practice field or at the game field. And then at that point, you'll just right away pass out the jerseys. The kids will introduce themselves, and they'll go straight to the players will go straight to their team. And parents, you guys can go ahead and set up your chairs and set up your sitting areas to watch practice and watch them getting ready for it. But we're not going to do any team meetings with the parents and players there. We're not going to do any introduction meetings with all of the parents and players and staff. You'll get directed straight to your field or practice area. At that point, you'll go straight to with your team and pass out the jerseys. If by chance you get a jersey for your child that's the incorrect size, let the staff know that's going to be there on the field, and we'll go back to the check-in tent and exchange that for you. That way, again, we're not having a crowd around the check-in tent that's waiting for their jersey to get exchanged if they need that. So we'll go ahead and take care of that for you guys, and we'll have a staff person that's around the practice field and around the game field to help out with that. So look for us there. Once the team meeting is done, the introductions are done, the jerseys are on, the kids go put on their flags, and they'll get ready to start their practice. So if you are there as the first group of the day, you can start practicing on the game field. If you get there at the 10:30 o'clock time, or 10:30 or 9:45 practice time, 10:30 game time, you should plan on another team being on the field already playing their game. So you'll have another separate practice area that you'll hold your practices at. And then we tell parents and coaches to designate your practice area that you'll go to every single week. That way, parents know where to go, kids know where to go, and then you'll move to the game field once it's time for the game. So some of you guys will go straight to the game field and have your practicing game there. Some of you guys will get to the game or get to practice, and those teams already on that field. So you'll practice on the side in another area. So we'll direct you, again, on opening day to what those areas are going to be. For opening day, make sure you arrive 5 minutes early. That way you're prepared. Come dressed to play. Please limit spectators to immediate family only. We know grandmas and grandpas and uncles and aunts and all want to be there to cheer on our kids, but this season, just to be extra cautious and safe, we want to make sure that we try to limit spectators to immediate family only. We're going to have designated seating areas for parents and spectators, and then another area for our players and teams, and players and coaches. So just pay attention to signs in regards to that. And please do not come if you're sick, and please follow the new state executive order that's been passed in regards to face masks in public spaces. And even though we're outdoors, the parks that we're going to be at are still considered public spaces, so that's something that we've been asked to follow as well. In regards to the league formats, kids are placed on teams by balancing out the age, height, weight, skill, and by coach and player requests. So if you remember when you registered, you put down the kids beginner, advanced, intermediate. You rank them on a scale of 1 to 5. We use those to kind of balance out our rosters to make sure that their kids and the talent is equally balanced. If we see something that's very unbalanced after week 1 or week 2, we may be moving a player, or doing a trade just to make sure that our kids are on well balanced and teams, and they can enjoy the season. We have 4 divisions: Tykes, Pee Wee, Junior, and Senior. The kids will focus on the skills, agility, and technique in the practice, as well as learning the playbook provided by their coaches. And our games, we played 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, depending on the age range. An example of a typical day: you'll arrive after opening day. You're just going to get straight to your practice area. Kids will start practicing with their teams. You'll sit down and watch. You move to the game field, start your practice. So the practices are 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the age. And the football games are also 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the age. At the end of the game, we're not going to be doing high five lines and parent tunnels. Instead, we'll be doing clapping lines where the teams will line up across from each other, and they'll give a cheer for each other by clapping. And then they'll turn to the parents and clap for them as well as a thank you for bringing them. At that time, you'll go back with your team and do final team meeting and pass out the sportsmanship awards. So for those of you guys that are new to our leagues, every single week we emphasize a different sportsmanship trait. So the week 1 is listening and positivity and sharing and dedication and motivation, different traits that apply to sports, because we want kids to not only learn the game of football, we want them to learn the positive character traits that come and sportsmanship traits that come with playing sports. So we want to emphasize both. So at the end of each game, our coaches will hand out a medal to the child who best exemplified that sportsmanship trait that day. And then they'll get a medal. It's a great way to acknowledge our players, and not only the performance on the field, but the sportsmanship and attitude that they display while they're out there. And then parents, if you want to take a sportsmanship award sign, like you see our little guy here, you can take it home with you, put it in your front yard for the week, bring it back the next week, we clean it. That way the next week, another parent can take that home with them and show off to their neighbors as well. So you don't have to do that. If you just want to take a picture with it or just want to get your medal and go home, perfectly fine. But that's just another added little fun feature for our kids. They really enjoy it. A couple of sportsmanship and preparation notes. Safety and sportsmanship. If in doubt, sit them out is our policy in regard to any kind of head-to-head, head-to-ground, or whiplash. Anything that we might fear might be any kind of head injury. So if we see kids, collide, if they're going for a ball or they're trying to pull flags and they fall kind of hard, we're going to sit them out. It might be for a few minutes. It might be for a half. It might even be for a game if our coaches and officials feel like it's necessary. So please support us and help us out on that side. Sportsmanship is expected by everyone. We talk about sportsmanship for our kids, but we need our parents to model that as well. Any inappropriate language or behavior is not tolerated while on the field. We hardly ever have issues like that, but we always want to make sure we emphasize that. So what we tell our parents and our coaches is focus on the things that the kids can control. They can control the effort that they display, and they can control the attitude and the sportsmanship that they display while they're on the field. Those are 2 things they have complete control over every single week while they're out there. The outcome of the game, their individual performance is not always going to be exactly what we want or what they want. There's going to be games where you win, and there's going to be games when you lose. There's going to be games when you throw 5 touchdowns. There's going to be games when you throw 5 picks. If the effort and the attitude is consistently positive and there, the performance and the outcomes will come in time. So those are the things we always want to make sure we emphasize with our kids. One of the things that we learned with our partnership with the Aspen Institute and the Project Play is the kids that play longest their focus and their coaches is on these areas. because the performance and the things are going to come and go, whether you're a professional or a little kid, especially when you're young. If there's too much pressure on the performance and the outcomes, they tend to get too focused on that and they can burn out quicker. If we're always consistent on, hey, we just want to see growth, we want to see effort, we want to see great sportsmanship all out there, there's great attitude out there, that's going to continue for them to want to continue to play longer. So please support us and help us out on that side when you're on the sidelines. Come prepared and informed each week with the information that you need, and how you get that information is by checking out the i9sports.com website. If you have not already, please log on to the website. Each and every parent has, with the registration, has their own personal account. So you go on here, at the top you'll put your email address, your password that you created, you'll log in, and you'll see all your information for your team. If you're a coach, under the coaches tab, you'll see your roster, you'll see practice plans, the rule book, your schedule, obviously. If you're a parent, you'll go under my account and you can see your schedule there. And you have all the information that you need accessible anywhere you can get online. And if you have not already done so, we've recently just updated our website if you haven't seen it yet. And one of the cool features with this new update to our website is you can actually download an i9 Sports app on your phone. So that way you can just click on that app straight from your home screen, and you can get your personal information, so you don't have to log into the website and do all this other stuff. It's a great new feature that we've just implemented that I hope you guys appreciate and use to your advantage. And in case you haven't seen what the schedules look like, this is what it looks like. You'll have tabs for each child. If you have multiple children playing, you'll see the dates of the games, the arrival time for practice, the game time, the directions to the field, what practice area you're on, what field you're playing on, who your opponent is, what color jersey you're wearing that day. We are not doing snacks like I mentioned, but there will be a feature here that updates attendance. So if you know, hey, this week I'm going to be gone, my kid has a birthday party, you can update your attendance there. That way the coach knows, hey, I'm only going to have 7 players today instead of 8, or whatever the case might be. Here at the bottom, you also see the weather hotline phone numbers there. You can contact the league office, contact your coach's information, send them a message, send them a text, send them an email, and you can email your schedule as well. So all that is accessible on your phone or when you log onto the website. Another great resource available to you is every Wednesday we email a newsletter that goes out to all of our parents. In those newsletters, we highlight a coach of the week, a sportsmanship trait of the week, any schedule or league changes, any game day pictures or videos. This was a picture that was sent to us from our winter season from a parent whose son made a really nice one-handed catch. And so we highlighted them, put them in the newsletter to highlight them, and we'll put that on stuff on social media as well. Just some fun stuff to kind of recognize our players while they're out there. But make sure you are checking those emails every single week on Thursdays. They typically go out between 3 to 5 p.m. So make sure you're checking those out to stay up to date on what's going on with your league. And of course, if you have any questions, concerns, issues, you can always see our site managers or sports coordinators or referees on site, and they will be happy to assist you with anything that you guys might need. Our coaches that are out there with the red i9 Sports shirts, like you see these guys out here, these are volunteer coaches. They are not paid i9 Sports staff. So if you have a question or issue in regards to something that we can assist with, look for someone in a blue i9 Sports staff shirt and we'll help you out. Our coaches, we appreciate them. We love them for volunteering with us. A lot of our coaches for flag football have been with us for many, many years, including Coach John, who I saw on here, Coach Andrew, Coach Alfred. A lot of you guys have been with us for a long time. Coach Clark, really appreciate all of them. So make sure you do give them your support and give them everything that they need to have a great season. But in regards to anything else that you guys might need, you want to share something positive or you want to share something critical that we can improve on, please let our staff know so we can give you guys the experience that you guys want and deserve. I wanted to show you real quick. I know it's kind of a small picture, and I'll share this in a bigger picture on Thursday, but I want to show you the layout of the fields that we're going to be at. So at Old Shepherd's Park in Plano, we'll be playing on Field 3. In Reynolds Park and Shawnee Trail, we'll be playing on Field 4, which will be on the left side of our playing area. And so our check-in tent will be right in the middle. So we'll check you guys in here, and we'll send you to your field. And then most times when you guys get there for football, this Field 2 area is going to be the open area where we'll be holding our practices. So this multi-sport field will only be used really at 8 a.m. And then there's going to be a couple of games where they'll be used in the afternoon in the 10:30 o'clock one too. But for most of you guys, you'll be practicing either on field 4 or in this field 2 area, and they have your game over here. So these will be the areas where you'll be sitting at and staying at. Just kind of be aware of that for that location. Over here, same thing. For our Plano location, you'll be on field 3 every single week on this field here. And again, I'll show you exactly a closer, more detailed map and description on the email that goes out on Thursdays. So now I wanted to spend some time going into our safety protocols and make sure you guys are aware of what our plan is and how we're going to be handling everything and what to expect while we're out there. We ask for you guys' support on this. We ask you guys help us out on this. This is brand new to all of us. It's brand new to our staff. There's going to be days when we forget something or we miss something, and instead of yelling at us for forgetting something, just let us know, hey, just a reminder, you guys are supposed to do this. Oh, shoot, I forgot. You're right, and we'll get right on it. We want to make sure we keep the kids safe, and if you guys can help us and support us and be there with us, we would definitely appreciate that. So this is the plan that we put together with the Aspen Institute and the Project Play, with our partnership with them, with our corporate office, and also looking at the directives and recommendations from our local and national health leaders. So for our parents, again, we ask that we limit spectators to immediate family only, if possible. Staff, parents, and participants will be required to stay at home if they or someone that they come in contact with is sick. Parents and players, we ask to clean their hands before and after games, and we will have hand sanitizer on site for that if you want to use ours. We ask you to follow park requirements set by local governments, social distancing measures, staying 6 feet apart, as well as a new executive order that came out for all kids, all people 10 and above wearing face masks or face covering. That includes our coaches and staff. For the kids that are playing that are 10 and older, of course, when they start their practice and they get to the field and they're playing, they do not have to wear a mask while they're playing. But for our spectators, we do ask that you please help us on that side of it. We will have signs in regards to social distancing, as well as where the players and parents will be sitting, and just be mindful of how close you are to everybody else and try to keep your distance as much as possible. And we ask that there be no high fives, handshakes, or intentional physical contact with other participants or guests if possible. If you want to do elbow bumps or feet high five or something else, we definitely recommend that, or air high fives. We can be creative with it. But just some things to do to help us out on that side. I know we're going to forget about it. I know our kids are going to forget about it, but if you can just kind of keep that top of mind if you can. For our teams, our staff will be disinfecting equipment before and after each session. We encourage, again, kids to bring their own equipment if possible. If not, we will have them STEM equipment there for you. We will not be doing team pictures this season. Again, just to eliminate another situation where we're going to have people huddled together in groups and sitting in a line and stuff like that. So we won't do that, unfortunately, this season. Coach practice plans have been adjusted to try to limit situations where there's going to be contact. So the practice plans that we give to our coaches every single week are a resource to them. If they want to use them, great. If they don't have to. But for those coaches that receive those practice plans, we try to do more individual skill building and individual drills. Again, just kind of add to that extra layer of safety. For our teams, we're asking that they do no high five lines after the games, or handshakes, and no unnecessary team huddle. So I know for football, that's a difficult thing because we huddle up for every single offensive play on the defensive side. So one of the things that we're talking to our coaches about, trying to line them up shoulder to shoulder, and the coach can kind of talk to them straight ahead, that we're not all huddled up, right next to each other and doing things like that. So we're trying to implement different things like that to try to help out with us. And I know our coaches are going to forget. I know our kids are going to forget. So we'll try to continue to remind them. We'll try not to be too naggy about it, but we'll try to do our best to help out with that. We will not be doing parent tunnels. Like I said, we'll be replacing those with clapping lines. No team snacks or drinks after the games. We do definitely recommend you bring a snack and drink for your own child. We're just not going to be doing team snacks, and no concessions sold at the venue. In regards to safety protocols for any on-field issues, if a child gets injured at the facility, we'll assess or treat the child if it's minor. We have first aid certified and CPR certified staff on site, as well as first aid kits. But of course, anything major, we'll be contacting emergency services for that. If a child shows any symptoms of sickness related to health or heat or anything else while at the field, we'll follow these steps. This should not be indented. There he goes. Immediately, we'll remove that child from the group to be placed at a safe distance in space. We'll stop activities and clean all equipment and areas while at the field. This includes hand washing for our staff and our kids. And at that point, we'll inform the staff of what the situation and what's going on. So if, for example, we have teams practicing and we see one kid that's not feeling well and he's sick and he's just, kind of, whether he's too hot, hasn't drank any water or whatever, and we have to remove them off and we're treating him, we'll come let the parents know what's going on. That way you guys aren't in the dark of what's going on. That way you guys are aware, and at that point can make a decision of whether, hey, we don't feel comfortable with this. We want to go ahead and, cancel today or postpone today or whatever. We can do that. We'll work with you guys on that, but we want to make sure that we're transparent and you guys are aware of that plan. And of course, obviously, we'll contact the parents if we see something that you are not aware of already. We also ask that parents please inform the staff or coaches of any allergies, health concerns, behavioral issues, or mediation that might be required from your kids. Like I mentioned before, we are an inclusive program, which means that sometimes we have kids that play within our leagues that are ADHD, ADD, on the autism spectrum, and we love having those kids in our programs, and we love seeing them grow and participate with everybody else, and the kids, welcome them. But when our coaches and our staff know about those things, we can better support you guys and better support our kids. So make sure you let us know about that so we can help you guys out there as well. Lastly, in regards to safety, in regards to with our staff and coaches, all of our staff and coaches are background check trained and certified. As of March of 2020, we've partnered with Sterling Volunteers for our background checks. And this is the most thorough background check company in the US. We do background checks. They do ID verification. And this is the only company that gives us monthly personal updates on every single person that has a background check. Every single school, and for most part, almost all youth sports organizations do the annual checks. So if I get a check in March of 2019, I don't have to do another one until March of 2020. For us with Sterling, every single month we'll get an update. So we are always aware that the fact that our staff and our coaches are safe to be around our kids, and you can be comfortable knowing that they're safe to be around them as well. So that's something new that we just added this year to add some extra safety to our programs. And we've already seen this give us, good results and give us updates that we can implement in regards to some of the other programs that have been going on nationally. Like I mentioned before, we do have CPR and first aid certified staff on site, and all staff will wash hands and clean equipment before and after each session for you guys' safety. So there is our safety plan, and that is pretty much what I wanted to wrap up with. Again, we do have a Refer a Friend program, if you guys aren't aware of that, where you can get $10 for each person that you refer. So if you enjoy the summer season, you want to bring a couple of friends to play the next season, you bring 10 kids for a full team. They don't need to know that you just got $100 off your registration, and you can get that every single season. There's no limit to that. Make sure you always follow us on social media, Facebook and Instagram, and tag us on any pictures that you post there. Hashtag I9 Sports Frisco, I9 Sports Plano, I9 Sports Prosper. We love seeing you guys' pictures and videos that you guys take while you're out there. And again, just want to shout out to our partners once more who support us this season and the last couple of seasons. So that is my presentation. Since we didn't have our guest speaker, we got done a little bit sooner, which is great. So you guys can get back to your evenings. But if you guys have any questions in regards to equipments, in regards to rules or safety protocols, anything like that, feel free to chat them in or unmute yourself. If you do have one, feel free to do that. While you guys are thinking of a question or chatting it in, I did want to mention a few things. A great way to get equipment that's cheap is going to places like Replay Sports and Play It Again Sports. These are places that are secondhand sports goods stores that they clean, they wash, and they disinfect all the equipment that comes through there. But you get a pair of cleats for $7, $8, a football for a couple dollars. That's really what you're going to need for flag football. But they'll have cones there for coaches that might be slightly used that you get for a couple dollars, and just a great way to keep the kids in their equipment that they need. And a lot of times for our kids, they grow out of a pair of cleats within a season. So if someone's worn them one time, they're still in great shape. So just wanted to pass along that resource for you guys. And I do have one question that got chatted in. Let me see. There will be seating areas. Does that include seats? Yes. So yes, you will bring your own chairs. Good question. For all these venues, there is no seats provided. We'll be basically what I meant is we'll have designated seating areas for our spectators and designated seating areas for our parents and players. So we won't have bleachers or anything like that out there for you guys to sit on. But you want to be in your own chairs there. But we're going to designate where our parents and spectators and our coaches and players will be sitting at. Can coaches bring water coolers with bottles of water? Yes. If you want to bring water coolers, just make sure that the kids will each have their own water bottle and have their own cooler with them. But if you want to bring a cooler with ice that they all put their water bottle in, I think that would be a good idea. That way it stays nice and cool. Another thing that that if you want to do as well is have a cooler with some towels just to kind of wrap around the kids when they're subbing or when they're on the sidelines between breaks, just to keep them nice and cool, would be a great plan that you can do as well for your kids. So that's another idea that you can do while you're out there. If there's no other questions, then we're going to go ahead and wrap up our meeting for today. I really appreciate you guys joining me on a Tuesday evening and spending some time with us to get to know what our program's about, what to expect. We hope you guys have a great season, and we will see you guys on the field on Sunday. Thanks so much.